Ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to learn about Palantir Technologies, then you clicked on the right video because we're going to be talking about PLTR, especially as it accumulated a valuation of price up about 6% in the day, closing at 1633 with the last market close in the last trading session. Now, there could be lots of volatility, especially as we've had an increase in buying confidence and pressure coming into the market from a bullish perspective. There could be lots of volatility for Palantir here in the next few days. We're going to be talking about this, especially with many metrics that have changed and analyst ratings. It's important to see what is a fair valuation for PLTR. Is it right now a buy, a hold, or a sell? Those are big questions that people are always asking themselves among many other investors. So if you're new to the channel, of course, hit that like button and subscribe for daily videos. I thank you guys so much for supporting a small content creator. And of course, I am not a financial advisor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm a guy on YouTube doing research, talking about stocks, and sharing what I learn with you guys. So make your own investment decision, do your own research before making that investment decision. Now, if we pop it up on the screen right here, you can see PLTR closes at 1633. Now, let's just do a quick little relapse in recent history on where we were with PLTR. Remember, PLTR released those earnings. They were basically in line with their earnings per share and just barely missed their revenues metrics. Now, what we saw was Palantir Technologies. They climbed up from 1356 in the short period of time to about 2024. What we saw was, whoa, pump the brakes, a little bit of a cool off, and we see PLTR come down here into the 15s, finding support again and testing support here at about that $13 to $14 range. Now, what you see with PLTR is we see lots of buying pressure coming up here into the 16s. We right now have volume for the last market trade at about 65 million, market cap sitting at about 35 billion. With options, what you're seeing, and these are not this week, but next week expirations on the 8th, you're seeing lots of option trading activity that really is kind of between the $16 to $17 strike price. People betting that Palantir Technologies could hold here. Some people say no, it's going to cool back down, but you have a little more options volume here on the calls versus on the bullish perspective. Now, talking about Palantir Technologies, what we did see, not just specifically talking about PLTR, was a big influx into many of these AI stocks and a lot of buying pressure today in the market trading session. And the reason being is because we could have that Google kicked off its annual Google Cloud Next conference. Now, Google has really been putting a lot of resources into artificial intelligence and really getting a lot of people excited about what AI will bring in the future. Now, they made several AI related announcements and unveiled an AI related partnerships. Now, with some of these partnerships and with these announcements, you do have people trying to basically get on the news and do some swing trading right here, trying to buy on these minor lows and sell on these kind of minor highs, trying to make a quick profit rather than in the long term. But what's also giving Palantir Technologies possibly some fuel is recently the IBD Smart Composite rating actually increased their score from 93 to 96 on Wednesday. Now, they say that basically that this revised stock score means that it tops 96% of all other key stocks in the performance metrics and technical strengths. Now, talking about Palantir, there is one thing that is important to look at, and that is specifically their business and what they have recently announced. Now, they have announced a $1 billion share buyback. We've all seen this kind of news for their common stock for PLTR, which is very limited with a $36 billion plus market cap. Now, talking about them and how they actually have done, with that cool off around that $20 range, one important thing to really look at is their valuation. Right now, PLTR is quite expensive in terms of its valuation, and you can see PLTR for their valuation right here for their non-GAAP for price to earnings is at 102, and for their non-GAAP forward is at 67.75. Now, talking about that, and especially with Palantir Technologies, is that the stock is really expensive right now, and I think we saw that especially as we did have Palantir quickly climb to that $20, all of a sudden there was an investor cool off and lots of selling and a little bit of a correction trying to find that true valuation. And I think that is the point on where it makes. And there's this article really here talking about how $10 could be possibly a far better entry point. Now, if we go back to PLTR and we kind of zoom out on the longer charts, and you can see where did PLTR sit for kind of really building a foundational support level. That was basically at the $6 to $7 here in 2022. 2022. Throughout the majority of 22, you have PLTR that does sit here at about that $7 with some support zones near that $10. So at an entry level of $10, could that be a great time possibly for people to get in on Palantir and not have to really, I want to say, encompass the majority of the risk, especially at these higher valuation prices. Now, that being said, it is a neutral stock and there is some support near around that $14, and it basically, if it drops down to that $10 underneath that $14 level of support, could that be a great entry point considering where we have in the background? Now, Palantir really hasn't changed much as a business. I think it's important to know that too, that Palantir really has gained some credibility, reputation by having those government contracts and really getting involved with AI and their AIP platform and software that they are creating. This does take a long time to transform businesses, and they're trying to harness the power of basically these LLMs, and these have really blown up. These are those large language models, basically trying to be the middle ground between these algorithmic reasoning and human thought. Now, you can see that with their quarterly year-over-year growth, this has kind of decreased a little bit right here. So a little bit of cool off from Palantir, I don't think would be, necessarily too surprising to me. However, just in my own opinion, I don't think it's really a buy right now, especially already up about 6% of the day. I might be keeping PLTR on my watch list, seeing what it'll do in the future, and especially if we do have a little bit of an AI cooldown that's not filled by Google and these top blue chips having these big artificial intelligence conferences, then maybe I'll give PLTR more of a serious look. But right now, I'll be keeping you guys updated about what's going on, and of course with all these other artificial intelligence stocks. So let me know down in the comments, what do you want to listen to more? Give me your discussions, let's talk, give me your questions, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.